All right, so my project this week is going to be a lot of wiring on a 6-volt system on the 55 two-door. The big issues I'm having at the moment are the front parking lights and turn signals. I am not getting any power at all to. The rear lights, I have parking lights and the turn signal will light up when I hit the lever, but does not flash. I've done some research and they do say on some of these, like some of your newer cars, all the voltage is tied together, so if one bulb is out, it messes with the system. I also do not have brake lights. So Ford was a little bit goofy in this era. They had what they called a positive ground. So that is something I'm still learning my way around. There is some kind of nasty redone wiring I'm trying to track down. And in my 55 wagon, while the wiring is shot, you can take a look here. Anytime you move it, the coating is just snapping off. None of this will be reused, but I have kind of an in-person diagram to see what it's supposed to have been originally. I did rob the headlights out of it already. I did take the headlight surrounds off, and I am messing with the side pieces just to see if I can figure out what's going on in the two-door. The other project that I have is, as the weather cooperates, I will be ripping all the wiring out of this one because I'm going to be doing a complete 12-volt conversion and a complete rewire of the entire thing. So we will see how far I get on this week. Looking at the backing plate on the front end, you can see the 2 tabs in there. That does signal that this is a dual filament bulb. One's going to be for the parking and one's going to be for the turn signal. As I follow this wiring back, you can kind of see, I apologize for the bad lighting, you can kind of see where the wiring is supposed to go. And coming up into here, there's some damage to the wrap again. It does come up through here, attaches the underside. I can't really get my camera down. Runs all the way across and comes into this bundle here. So this is going to be a whole lot of tracking down to see what's supposed to do what fires up the parking side, what fires up the turn signal side, and then this here, that wire goes back into the cabin. I'll have to track that down as we follow it down and across. It does end here near the light bucket, and there is another one on the driver's side. So trying to figure out where these two go and if they are part of the lighting indeed or not. Again, with Ford doing the positive ground in the 6-volt system, I do have to get a few new tools that will help me diagnose some of that. But that is the first direction to start with. Once I get power up here, then I can see what else is going on with at least the turn signal portion. So it's been a few weeks since I've gotten into the 55 with the wiring issues. I did a few things off camera and I will update where we're at. So I was able to pull a jumper wire and ensure that the lights themselves were actually working. I had a power probe, I used a battery pack, whatever I could to get power back here and ensure that yes, the lights physically work. So once I determined that was the case, I was able to check the wiring. And this guy here, on this particular model, this is going to be the brake light switch. As it detects that there's fluid being pushed through the system, it's going to activate the switch and it's going to send a signal back to the tail lights. So I was able to wire this up directly and again find out that the wiring was good and the brakes were good. I took the old brake light switch off of here. I grabbed the one from my wagon to try, no change. So I ended up ordering a new one from O'Reilly Auto Parts, put that in and everything is working okay. As you can see, I've got a little bit of splitting around that cable end, so that will be a piece I will have to replace. But at the moment, I do have the tail lights are working, the brake lights are working. Again, the turn signals are working in so much as when I turn the lever, the lights do come on, but I have not gotten down to the actual flash issue. If my research is correct on this particular one, the flash relay is actually behind the dashboard, behind the gauge pack, which is fun to get at. Cannot really get a camera underneath there, so I will fiddle with that a little bit more. Although by the end of my project today, I may have an update on this particular project. We'll see if I get that far. So what I'm looking into now is going to be getting the front lights to light up. So this particular lighting is supposed to be a dual filament. You'll have one light up as your parking light, and you'll have another one that will light up as your turn signal. Trying to find a 6-volt amber is awfully hard these days. They do have a 12-volt. They say it's not recommended, hard on the lights. Something I'm going to try is I was able to secure some 2.5-inch trailer LEDs, which have a lower draw on them than what a standard bulb does. So I believe that those pucks will fit perfectly inside these cones, and I won't be able to have a parking light with it, but I should be able to at least get the turn signals to light up. So I'm going to spend some time taking a look at that. I have been able to track some more of the wiring back up behind the grill. I've got it a little more accessible than what I had before, and I'm finding out a lot of my wiring issues with this junction block. So 2 of those are going to operate the high beam and low beam. One set is going to operate the driver's side turn signal, and one's going to operate the passenger side turn signal. So I'm going to do some probing, find out where I actually have my break in the wire, but I should be able to get these things fired up through hopefully minimal effort. So I do have new, again, LED puck assemblies. I do have some new housings, or excuse me, some new pigtails for the back of the headlights. So I should be able to get those wired up a little more consistently. This one was a little dimmer. I think it's just a bad connection there. So that's going to be my goal for this afternoon. Let's see how far I get into it. So due to a slight recording mishap, I ended up taking pictures and not videos of the rest of my project. I was able to get my LED lighting wired up by tracing the wiring and figure out which side operated the turn signal and which side operating the parking light. So I was able to get the the turn signals to light up with the switch, but again, I was still not able to take care of the flasher portion of it. At this point, everything should be legal though. It does light up, although not quite as bright as I wanted to. But at the end of the day, I got done what I absolutely had to. And with that, it wraps up my wiring project on the 55. And due to situations in life as they come, that wraps up my project with the 1955. When I originally bought it, I did need a runner. It's a little bit more of a project than I was expecting. So it is off to greener pastures, and I have gotten another project in the meantime. And with another project done, there's always another one around the corner. As always, I thank everybody for watching, and I will see you on the next episode.